Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Monday, January 2nd, 2023, after 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a Time for Change call this Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. It'll be about catching everybody up at the current status of the financial system, not the bad one. We'll touch on the bad one. We make a choice. You're always making choices, whether they're conscious or unconscious. Many of life's circumstances are created by three basic choices: the disciplines we choose to keep, people we choose to be with, and the laws we choose to obey. Charles Milhoff. Now, if you were to ask somebody in a conversation, and they were awake to a certain extent, okay, and you said, would you like to leave this experience of suffering completely behind? And I'm going to give you an instant out-of-jail pass. And it's all about learning how to surrender to the source of who you are. Not some entity or something that has been created throughout the thousands of years on this planet to make this civilization believe that there is a force outside of them, when in reality the force is them. Now what this means is letting go of all our ideas about who we think we are. We can move through any imprisoned feeling that arises and drop into a deep oceanic experience with our being. This is the promise of total surrender of the ego. It causes us to see the divinity within. We can relax into anything and everything. So it's a choice to let go of whatever our minds are clinging to the moment we notice it is clinging. This experience of letting go, it isn't really a difficult thing. It's quite easy. In fact, it is absolutely effortless. You just relax and experience this moment as it is. Stop holding on to all the ideas we have of how this life should be. The problem is we're looking for someone to grow old together, right? While the secret is finding someone to remain kids with. The problem is we're looking for someone to grow old together. This is usually the case here on this planet. While the secret, the discovery for all of us, is finding someone to remain kids with. Do this now and you'll see that everything gets really easy. Who says that transcending years of struggle, emotional pain, and personal suffering has to be hard? What if your life on earth is meant to be much easier and simpler than you've made it out to be? Now, we can change anything around. Anything. Any of us can. Just take a deep breath and relax your body and breathe easily. We are divinely guided by a higher being. That higher being is the true God that you are in that body. That's what guides us. There is an awesome intelligence inside of us that is showing us the way home to being radically free. Only through a deep surrender to ourselves can we find this angelic guidance guiding presence inside of us now. When we feel stuck, going nowhere, even starting to slip backward, we may actually be backing up to get a running start. Dan Millman. A lot of us have been programmed throughout the centuries, millennia. We do not have to fight our way to freedom. We can give up any inner battle, and just holler out a big yes to being free from all of our awesome problems right now. It's always an invitation. I invite you to try something new out. Try to taste the easiness of this life. Give this wonderful ego of yours permission to completely melt into existence. Now, this is an interesting statement from Osho. Orgasms are important. Otherwise, people wouldn't know when to stop screwing each other. Osho. Nobody says that we have to grip onto our identity another day. Really? A new kind of at-ease consciousness is breathing inside you now. And it is willing to explore a different kind of awareness that is beyond the countless have-tos, need-tos, and shoulds spinning circles around this dizzy achieving mind of ours. We all create the life we're in, every one of us, whether we know it or not. The more knowing that you breathe into your life, the more you praise your life, the more there is in that life to celebrate. Question comes up a lot. How will we know when we are truly free? Because everything we take on will feel as light as a feather. That's how you'll know. Every challenging person from your past will be an exciting opportunity for you to become a more loving, compassionate, and enlightened being. Every one of us are the open door. And this door is always open. Every one of us are the open door. And this door is always open. Any belief that it is closed is a lie. It is a choice for us to free our minds from the doubters in our lives and let the loving universe welcome us in. On a deeper level, we are already free from this suffering that we've been facing. We will experience a lighter state of consciousness instantly when we see the truth in this. It's a kind of little tricky. We are the open door, and this door is always open. We're talking about right now on this planet at this time of immense transition into the higher frequencies of existence. Now, any belief that it is closed is a lie. So it is up to us to free our minds from the doubters in our lives and let the loving universe welcome us in. And on a deeper level, we are already free from this suffering we've been facing. We will experience a lighter state of consciousness instantly when we see the truth in this. Now is the only time that there is to experience bliss. The now. The now contains this divine experience. No other time will do. This is not about being irresponsible for your life. This is about improving your ability to respond to life with more aliveness. You ever notice how many of us seem to wander through life, or we seem oblivious to many things? It's almost like that there are those that are completely numb to enthusiasm, excitement, happiness, joy, fulfillment, and they wander through life. We were all born to be full of zest and spunkiness for this life. And yes, this is what freedom is all about. Make this choice continuously, and you have just decided to be born again. We're not talking about religion here. Now, you choose. All of us do. You just listen to your own heart, and your own heart is your only teacher. Osho. It's not what you look at that matters. It's what you see. Henry David Thoreau. Take this precious moment of your life, move through this open door. Your life is precious. Very, very, very precious. Do not waste it on trivial matters. Open this door now and discover the freedom at the very core of your being. This is that moment to reveal the greatest experience of your existence. You. You are an infinite ocean of consciousness, an immortal being who knows no boundary or limitation. Surrender to that you are an infinite ocean of consciousness, an immortal being who knows no boundary or limitation. And it's all there for all of us. Did it just appear? Did it come in the last century? No, it's always been there. Millions of years, billions of years, trillions of years. It's always been there. As we've increased the frequencies of the planet, and we have an understanding through the heart-mind that things have already shifted. Due to us. Nobody else. No omnipotent being coming out of the clouds. Us. We have determined as a part of the collective consciousness of this universe and others that we desire for the frequencies to move more in lightness, to end pain and suffering, to end dissatisfaction, greed, manipulation, power, control, to move into softness. Softness does not mean weakness. Quite the opposite. Once you discover what you feed the atmosphere with, right? Comes in different forms. Energy always does. It is an endless transforming existence. But you begin to realize that it's you. It's all of us. Everything happening. It's all of us. Isn't it interesting, or maybe ironic, that we enter these bodies and we're oblivious. Along the way, some of us awaken. Something is a catalyst that we bring into that life that will literally cause that awakening, awareness. And then we begin to embrace within, because we're so curious, we want to know what we really are. Because we then begin to realize that we are not the body. And of course, that's, for some, that's kind of it's kind of out there. Yes, there's a lot of people who will say, oh yeah, I know I'm not the body. Then why do you fear death of the body? If you really know that you're the God in that body, then why do you fear death? Because if you do know who you are in that body, that you are the God, you're pure consciousness, you're omnipotently powerful, you're immortal, and that which never dies. So why are we so focused as the time goes by and we start sensing which is kind of crazy, a closeness of leaving the body, right? On this planet, they call it death. Death of the physical form, the body. And most of us, when that time comes, why are we afraid of leaving the body? See, now we get down to the real core of what we're all challenged with. It's easy to say these things, isn't it? You tell somebody, I know I'm the God within the body. Well, that's great. Is that the ego mind or the heart mind talking? But when you truly know that you're the God in that body, you don't fear leaving it. We've been trained to, when we put bodies in the ground and pray, we lock them to this plane. There's a lot of souls locked down here on this planet. Wandering around, believe it or not. They're in this kind of a dark void, okay? And see, the gods that we are when we leave the body are not, we don't have pain, say, we don't experience cold or loneliness, any of that stuff. That comes with the physical experience. And the most of it comes from the fact that we don't know who and what we are. Are there really years? Or is it more orbiting the sun? There are other planets and other star systems that take 10,000 years to make one orbit around their sun. Okay? For us, it's 365 days. Big difference, isn't it? So you don't lose it, but you begin to recognize a little bit at a time that Time is irrelevant. It really is. And it's controlling. It controls us. And it's a great program to control a civilization, isn't it? We say we don't have much time left, you've got to do this. And then we become very agitated, hurried, and rushed, right? Oh, that's the worst thing you could do. That is actually attacking your own soul. One of the biggest practice that we can employ with ourselves, and I'm not saying it's a cinch, is to slow down. Slow down. Slow down you. Now, you do notice when something occurs in your life where you feel hurried. We've all done that. But none of us are exempt from it. We've done it many times. We begin to get agitated, rushed, and hurried, right? Blood flow increases. More energy is emitted. Decisiveness. You kind of lose focus because you're so hurried. Now, if you didn't know what the time was, and one of the biggest ways to train yourself, you wear a wristwatch and you have clocks and everything, but you don't look at them. You don't look at the time. Oh, I have to look at the time. I've got things to do. Got to go work. Got to do this, got to do that. Another controlling mechanism for us is many people have to use what? An alarm clock. An alarm. Got to set it. Got to set it. You get up at a certain time. When we can just basically go to sleep and automatically wake up and know the time. So, what happens if you oversleep? What happens if you oversleep? Nothing. But usually, you jump out of bed, your heart gets slammed, blood pressure starts shooting all over the place because you're in a hurry, you're late. And then all this other ego mind stuff. Oh, I could get fired. Oh, crap. I won't get the bonus. I've really messed up. So you start slamming yourself. It is a spiral down frequency effect. And if you've ever done that, you notice how long it takes you to recover? Huge. You are in charge of your own destiny. You can change your destiny. You can change your future. Nothing is etched in stone. You represent total freedom, the God within you. You are omnipotently powerful. You never die. I mean, you could put this list together and look at it every day. And not ego mind, but heart-mindedness. It's an awareness. Well, this suit no longer serves purpose. I'm going to drop this suit and I'll get another one. Of course, getting a body on this planet isn't as easy as people would think it is. So the one you get in, it's like celebrate every day. I really embrace the fact that you got a body. Doesn't it make sense that collectively we've all created the exact existence that we're all in right now? And as Buddha repeatedly said, and I think this world, right, that we've created is a looking glass. It gives back to every one of us a true reflection of our own thoughts. Rule your mind, or it will rule you. And you see, we're here to experience life in an infinity of ways. We all know that not every day is filled with unending joy, love, and bliss. We've all gotten up in the morning feeling unmotivated one time or another, unmotivated to do anything, and don't know why. Now, obviously, none of us need to, when we wake up, jump out of bed and start running around, yelling and screaming, what a wonderful time I'm having right now. This is about, jumping out of bed denotes the fact to slow down. So when you lie there in bed, and your eyes, your eyes are open and you're kind of taking it easy, slow. This sets the parameters for that day. You have no intention of hurrying about anything. When we hurry, we miss. Bottom line. Now, if you're going real fast in a vehicle down a road, tree-lined road, beautiful woods and trees and everything, you're not going to enjoy that. You won't have a chance to enjoy it because you're going so fast. That's what this life is. You can be the rabbit, the hare, or the tortoise. It's your choice. And when we talk about being childlike, it doesn't mean you're 5 years old. One time I walked into my mother's bedroom at the time, and she was sitting on the edge of the bed with her feet dangling down, her legs, and she was like a child would do, back and forth swinging her legs. And she put up her hand and she said, "I'm only 4 years old," because she was having a diabetic attack. So she believed she was 4 years old. And the childlike, that we are children, and the reason that that's the case is that we enjoy every minute of life that we have. We don't take this life so seriously. We're not intense, trying to configure, rush, push. We take every breath in as being absolutely magnificent, and every breath out. We learn that what's the big deal, right? When you were a kid and you looked at the adults, the bigger bodies, sometimes you say, what's the big deal? Why is everybody running around doing this and doing that, and no one seems to be having any fun? Did you ever do that as a kid? Did you ever look at the adults and say that you were kind of like, why are they such in a hurry? None of them seem to want to have any fun. And so it's kind of like, as a kid, as all of us are, we look at things a lot differently. Are you worried? When you were a young child, did you worry? Did you worry about paying bills? Did you worry about making enough money? Right? Did you worry about your health? Did you worry about your relationships? Any of that stuff? No. Where did that come from? Them. And it continued. Theirs taught them, who taught them, who taught them, who taught them, who taught them. So you can see how things seem to stay in that area, that you get programmed, then you start worrying because you are not in the now. As children, we're in the now. We're right in the now, the moment. Did you ever get in a conversation with an adult and kept asking questions? Did you ever do that? Endless questions. Pretty neat. And of course, the adult would get frustrated after a while, but then some adults would just keep answering the questions, if they could. We're not innocent enough because we view innocence as being weak. We don't enjoy our happiness when it's right in front of us, because we're constantly afraid someone, somewhere, somebody is going to frown upon us. How we dress, how we act, what we do, how we do it. We're worried about how we're going to be accepted. This starts when we begin to get programmed. How are you going to be accepted? Are you a highly intelligent, precious human being? Do you have a miraculous body with amazing senses? Do you believe you are intimately connected with a highly intelligent, conscious universe? Do you believe you have a creative mind that can imagine anything? And do you believe anything you can imagine is possible to manifest in the physical world? Do you believe you are a super powerful manifesting machine? That you can experience a state of orgasmic bliss anytime you wish? That you have the ability to give love, feel loved, and be in love? That you are responsible for creating your entire reality? That you get to learn some deep and powerful transformational lessons here on earth? That you can know every experience in this life is the right experience? That your higher self says your future is bright and perfectly flawless? When we understand within our heart minds that the self is the rider, the self. The body is the chariot, the intellect the charioteer, and the mind is the reins. The senses say the wise are the horses, the roads they travel are the mazes of desire, the enlightened call the self the enjoyer when it is united with the body, mind, and senses. Bhagavad Gita. You can say that 1,000 times and not get tired of it. I've had people over the holidays say that nothing seems to change. Everything's doom and dark and gloomy out there. And the funny thing is that's the illusion. But we get in habits, right? We literally find it easier to head down low frequencies rather than high frequency. Now, you know the truth about something, okay? And you're contemplating that this other person could be a loved, friend, acquaintance. But you know the truth about something in your heart mind. And then you say to yourself, maybe I shouldn't tell them. Might hurt their feelings. I don't know how they would take it. I sure as heck don't care to get them upset. You ever had those communications with yourself? When you wanted to share the truth about something. Could be you. Could be them that you viewed or experienced. But we become so controlled by the physical world, the external authority, that we take the truth and we put it in the back room. And that's where it stays. And it bothers us at times. Or you see, you have a friend and the friend has a relationship with somebody and you catch them, not the relationship that they're in, but one of them is having a relationship with someone else. And you catch them. Not on purpose, you just happen to, the universe brings it in, you go, holy cow. They sure as heck aren't friends. And you want to tell the other person the truth. And then you're presented with, is it my place to do that? Or should they just find out on their own? It's like that in this life. That's just an example. There's many other things. What's the truth about our country, about the planet? What do we view? What do we view? We create. We are supreme reality, supreme creators. We co-create because we're all creating. It's a cooperation. We're creating a new earth. And we're doing it through the heart mind, not the ego mind. See, why wouldn't we look at 30 reasons, 50, 60, 100 reasons why life is awesome? While this life, focus on the thing that this life is absolutely awesome. Rather than focusing on, looks like we're going to have World War III. Oh, we already do have World War III. Oh, okay. What is the most powerful, omnipotently powerful energy that exists in all creation? There's no contesting it. What is it? It's the God that you are in that body. Now, when you truly embrace this, and outside influences bounce off of you, like they would a trampoline, you begin to realize that you're the power. So anything that you look at or view, you understand that is not permanent. And that you have the power to shift in your life in any direction you choose. And eventually, this civilization will come to the full realization through the heart-mind, that's a constant. We don't care to have conflict and war and death and destruction and power and greed, control, dishonesty, annihilation, destruction. We don't. Does it make any sense to any of us? Really? Does it make any sense to any of us to destroy life? It doesn't, does it? It seems like something is really out of balance. Life affords us the opportunity to experience it. And it's all of its gloriousness, grandeur. Ending it, destroying it, removes that ability, removes that experience. Instead of encouraging it on this planet, it's been in this cycle of discouraging it. Discouraging it. Every tiny, even down to the quark, we are influencing. We're either creating it or guiding it. See, that's when we start embracing the God that we are within the body, without exception, and that we really realize truly, deep within the gods that we are all-powerful, almighty, and that we never die. It's like this. Maybe some people can identify with this. You take a vacation, right? We've all done that more than once, maybe. And we take a vacation, and we're on this vacation. We experience things. We go places. We do things. And then the vacation comes to close, an end, and then we go back to whatever our home lives afford us. That's what this is like. We enter a body. We enjoy the experiences. We create. We form. We create some more. We experience. And we have a ball. And then it comes that, okay, that's over. Move on. We go home. Where's home? The God that we are. So what do we say? Well, I'm going to do another body. I'll do another body. It's not about how many. That's ego mind. It's not about who you were. Most people, when I used to do readings years ago, people wanted to believe that they were famous in a past life. That's ego mind. But they wanted to feel like they were famous, which everybody would go, oh. And that's ego mind. And then there were others who really didn't care who they were. They just enjoyed the life that they had at the time. I've had, men and women tell me that they were Cleopatra, Mark Antony, Julius Caesar, Alexander the Great, Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, Andrew Jackson. I mean, on and on and on, Or, people that, I'm Palladian. No, you're not Palladian. You're everything. It's a physical form. It's temporary. We've all been everything and anything, and then some. We've not only been in human bodies, we've been in other bodies, like animals and bears and cats and dogs and, different forms of physical life. You want to know what a life of a pig is? Then you go into the pig and you discover what it's like to be a pig. This is what we do. We've been men, we've been all genders, man, woman, androgynous, we've been everything. That's the point. But the only thing that doesn't change is the God that we are in these bodies. It is supreme divinity. Everything else changes constantly. That's how we experience. If things never changed outside of us, how would we experience anything? We wouldn't. When we begin to stretch ourselves far beyond our comfort zones, and of course that's uncomfortable for a lot of people. Do what you don't normally do. Right? Doesn't have to be big, but do things that you normally wouldn't do. That's as simple as that. It moves us out of our comfort zones. Most of the things that have happened on this planet, in this cycle, are due to us. In fact, all of them are. You know, we've actually been covered so much. You know what I mean? Our feet, our bodies, and you know, we all know that one time we had a lot of body hair because it kept us warm. It's the purpose of hair. But as we go through life, we lose hair because we're so covered up all the time. We don't need the hair. We lost connection with this planet, with Gaia, Arya, Sophia, whatever name you want to call her. But we've lost that contact, that earthing, that energy, the spiritual spinning and creation. And we're all covered up. Anytime you have a chance, and I know it's the winter time, but there's some parts of the world where you can still take off your shoes and socks, put them on the grass. Right? Put them in the dirt. Because we have come full circle, and we will start reconnecting with this planet. When you're connected to something, God-wise, you feel it. You understand it. You're part of it. Why would you destroy yourself? Why would you pollute yourself? Think about this. Why would you harm others, knowing that the gods within them are part of the God in you? That's why the statement, you know, the harm you do to others is the harm you do to yourself. How you treat others is how you will treat yourself. What you give, you shall receive. These aren't jokes. This is what happens. When you go against yourself, then that means you're going against God, who is you. Now, there are people who have come out of the new year, right? And they're absolutely elated. They feel inside their hearts there's this huge lifting, this ease, non-conflicting, non-stressing. They're absolutely giddy. Then there's the others that are saying, nothing's changed. The same doom and gloom. It's the same that, you know what? It will be for them. This life is absolutely awesome. And it's where we choose to focus our attention on how our lives will be are now. So it just depends on how we view our lives. So understand that we're in a new earth, period. Not a joke. It's not an illusion. And how do we know that? You ever notice that we are always looking for something? We want to find the right teacher. But you are the right teacher. The right teacher is where and what you are. Person, place, or thing is not the right teacher. You're the right teacher. I'll join you in meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose, and an easy breath out through the mouth. Remain still. We all know that quantum physicists have now proven that this universe is a holographic field of energy, matter, and consciousness. With our mind-body as a universal hologram containing this entire field, at last they've proven that the whole is contained within its parts. It may be good to know this, or even better to remember this, because someday we may want to sit down and explore this amazing universe out there. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, in the following morning. We will return here Tuesday, January 3rd, 2022. 2023, I'll get it. I'll get it. 2023. 3 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call. Love yourself and be good to yourself.